American soldier did not raise his rifle. He did not shout. He did not threaten her. Instead, he asked one quiet question. "When did you last eat?" The German woman standing before him, hands bound in chains, uniform torn, boots caked with frozen mud, did not answer. Her lips trembled. Her eyes, hardened by months of war, suddenly collapsed. She dropped to her knees, and in that moment the war paused. Not because guns fell silent, but because humanity broke through something even stronger than steel: fear, pride, and survival. This is not a story about victory. This is not a story about enemies. This is the story of what happens when compassion ambushes hatred, and a single question becomes heavier than chains. By the winter of 1944, Germany was no longer fighting to win. It was fighting to endure. Cities were crushed into gray skeletons. Railways lay twisted like broken bones. Civilians lived underground, surviving on rumors and ration cards that meant nothing anymore. And for the first time in the war, German women were no longer only behind the lines. They were messengers, medics, radio operators, clerks, and auxiliaries. Some willingly, some by force, all trapped inside a collapsing empire. One of them was Anna. She was not a fanatic. She was not a monster. She was 26 years old, with dirt under her fingernails and hunger in her bones. She had not eaten properly in days. The convoy never reached its destination. American artillery had already turned the road ahead into a graveyard of steel and fire. Smoke rolled low, hugging the earth like a warning. Anna tried to run, but starvation makes the body slow. Cold makes the legs numb. Fear makes the mind fracture. A shouted command. A rifle bolt snapping back. Hands raised. Chains applied, not because she resisted, but because procedure had replaced judgment. She expected shouting. She expected blows. She expected revenge. What she did not expect was silence. The American soldier assigned to guard her was named Private First Class Daniel Harper. He had crossed the Atlantic believing the enemy was a shadow, a shape without a face. But now the enemy stood in front of him. She was thin. Too thin. Her uniform hung from her shoulders like it belonged to someone else. Her wrists were bruised where metal bit into skin. Harper had seen death. He had seen rage. But hunger? Hunger was different. They stood near a burned-out farmhouse. Snow fell softly, almost politely, as if apologizing for everything else. Harper watched her sway on her feet. And without planning to, without orders, without thinking, he asked, "When did you last eat?" The words were not strategic. They were not interrogative. They were human. Anna stared at him. Her brain searched for the trick, the trap, the cruelty hidden inside kindness. But there was none. Her throat tightened, her breath hitting me. She sobbed, not loudly, not dramatically, but with the silent collapse of someone who had held herself together for far too long.